Welcome to the first of a three-part video series that will walk you through some of my process for producing the Art Nouveau style pieces for the upcoming Mozart Requiem and illuminated manuscript. I'm sharing these videos with our VIP members as a thank you for signing up and supporting our crowdfunding campaign, which launches on November the 1st. To get started, I've selected the pan pastel colors I will use for our first layer of color on the figure. The colors are raw umber, violet tint, blue tint, and a colorless blender. On a sample piece of paper, I will test different mixes of these colors to find the one that I want. I tend to work somewhat thin with colors, which gives me a more watercolored effect. Mixing a darker color such as raw sienna with the colorless blender gives me the ability to stain the paper, creating kind of a washed look. Now I begin by blocking in the colors for the shadows. I use the wide flat smudge tool for this since it will give me both a broad stroke as well as a refined line. Each time I apply color, I'm using the same formula I chose earlier. This can create a slight inconsistency that works well with the fine art approach I'm looking for. I want some of the darkest areas of the shadows to be near our focal point, which is the face. I will also add some of our background green color to the edges of the figure to help blend it in with the background. The next step is to refine our shadows. Using a white eraser, I will begin removing areas of color in order to define the shape and edging of the fabric. Since I applied the colors in a lighter, thin layer, it is much easier to remove the pigment from the board. Richer colors, such as burnt sienna and magenta shade, can be far more difficult to erase. Another tool I use to remove the pigment is a Helix electric eraser. These may be very useful when creating small, tight highlights, but should also be used with caution, as they can destroy the smoothness of the paper if you are too aggressive with it. Now I need to seal what I've done so far. For this I use the Krylon workable fixative. You only need to lightly spray over the areas that you want to make permanent. Be sure to not damage the smooth surface of the board by overspraying. Once the workable fixative has dried, I apply other pigments over the shadow area without blending or damaging the colors underneath. This gives me the opportunity to play with the contrasting colors, tints, and darkeners to enhance the illustration. At this point we can see the layering taking shape. Since the shadows are fixed, I can add pure violet pigment to certain areas to build the contrast of the figure against the more green tinted areas, as well as introducing other colors. One final pass with the eraser to bring out the folds in the fabric and bring out the highlights. I'm ready to apply a final coat of workable fixative to protect what we've done so far.